Okay, UFC 276 was this past weekend with Kane and Adesanya being the main event. A pretty a 50-50 card, some real good fights, some fights which were just horrendous. I think out of the main card, none of the fights were really explosive or back and forth. I think probably I'd say the best fight on that the main card might have actually been the Volkanovski and Holloway, and that wasn't even really an amazing fight in terms of back and forth. It was just a one-sided domination, but there wasn't really much to talk about really when it came to the main card. There was some obviously some decent ones, but when it came to the prelims though, the one fight that I think was stood out and should have been, I don't know if it got a fight or not, but it should have been, was the Brad Tavares and Drussus Duplessis. I think that was probably the one that stood out the most. I think a pretty back and forth fight, and yeah, a decent card overall. Not, again, like I said, nothing too much to scream about. But obviously, in my preview, I went through the four big fights on the main card of O'Malley Munoz, Pereira and Strickland, Holloway, Volkanovski, and obviously Adesanya candidate. So I'll be going through all those four. Starting off with Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munoz. An anticlimactic result in the end. Obviously, the fight got stopped via eye poke with O'Malley unintentionally poking Munoz in the eye. A bit of a bogus thing because I don't think the eye poke was that bad, but only he knows how bad it was, Munoz. But he kind of, sometimes when fighters get poked, they kind of really do so much to try and stop it. But like, for example, when Bilal Muhammad got poked against Leon Edwards, he was screaming out in pain, but and if you look at the eye poke, it looked bad. When DC got eye poked against Stipe, and vice versa, when Stipe got eye poked by DC, they looked like bad ones. Even like people that to talk about Usman faking eye poke since Colby in the first fight, but that was an eye poke, genuine one in the eye. There have been some bad ones, and those fights still continue, but Munoz really kind of looked like he wanted out. It looked like he was, even the commentators were saying it, it looked like he was almost playing for a DQ and really wanted that disqualification. He was getting picked apart a bit on the feet, but there are a few calf kicks that Munoz landed which were good, but O'Malley, he landed a good right hand in the first round as well. Munoz also had, there's one where O'Malley had a low blow where he kicked him, it seemed like on the cut, but it really looked like it was really on the belt line. So yeah, a bit of a weird thing from Pedro Munoz. I don't know, it was even fight, but O'Malley definitely was picking him apart and getting the better of him for the first two. But he looked good, O'Malley, from how long the fight was going on for. And I think, like I said, I think he's getting better fight after fight on fight. He seems to be getting better. O'Malley, Munoz looked alright, just the same as he was, but he did look like he wanted a way out. I'm not saying he's a quitter, but it didn't look great. And so for Munoz, I think he'd be annoyed, I think, if you were betting on him, because he really didn't look like he really wanted to be in there. But what are you going to do? I think had the fight can keep going, I predicted O'Malley to get the decision win. I think he would have got, but I don't think he would have knocked him out, because I think Munoz is very tough. But yeah, I just felt like O'Malley was just cruising to a decision. I think he was picking up on the feet. Like I said, at range, he was doing good. Few spinning kicks he attempted which missed, but they were very close, some of them, and he was mixing up well, O'Malley. So yeah, a great performance from him from how long it lasted, but just like I said, just a bit of an anticlimax because of the fight and what was going on. I don't think, if I remember, I don't think it was really that late in the second round. I think it was like midway through the second, so it wasn't a long fight in terms of how long it lasted, but one of them, you would like to see them run it back, but I don't know, O'Malley just looked very, very good in there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you'd look at it and think maybe O'Malley could move past him. I don't know. It was, I don't know, it just looked like he just looked more sharp, O'Malley, in there, and didn't look like anything was bothering him. And obviously with Munoz, the fact that he felt like he couldn't see, again, it didn't look that bad, and he was also closing both eyes as well when he was saying he got poked, which was just a bit confusing. Yeah, I don't think he really. Maybe his eye did get hurt, but I don't think it was from that. I think it may be for something else. But either way, yeah, let's see him run this one back though. I don't think. I think you could maybe put O'Malley against another opponent a bit higher up, but I don't think for Munoz you can do that. But either way, is what it is. But yeah, I'd run it back if I was then, because it's a bit of an anticlimax. This isn't like a Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, where Bilal Muhammad was a late replacement opponent. O'Malley and Munoz were scheduled to fight, so I think they should do it again. But annoying, but either way, good points for O'Malley though, and for Munoz, I think he was doing alright. He's very small, and O'Malley's very rangy. I think that's why he struggled, which is kind of why I figured would happen. But yeah, annoying, but here's what it is. And then moving on up the card to Alex Pereira against Sean Strickland. I predicted Sean Strickland to win via decision. Reason being, I felt like he would use his wrestling and really mix it up. For the life of me, don't know why, he decided not to do that and to strand straight with Alex Pereira. The man who is a known kickboxer and he's extremely powerful. Don't know why, but I'm not that upset because I did want to see Adesanya Pereira. And yeah, Strickland does this thing with his guard. He has a very weird stance of, he kind of like puts his hands out in front of you like he's almost a little bit like when you see a fly or something in front of you. There's no real, there's no posture really there, and his stance is very, very weird. And the problem with his stance is because he puts his hands so far forward, he's susceptible to hooks, and Pereira's left hook is his money shot. It is the best shot he throws. And I just had a feeling, when as that fight was going on, Pereira was getting more and more confident. He was landing a few jabs, a few body kicks, and he landed a calf kick. I remember that really hurt. It looked like it hurt Strickland a little bit. Didn't really have many moments Strickland done for success, and yeah, you stand with a kickboxer like that, that's what's going to happen. And obviously he put him down with the left hook, and then essentially put him out with the shot after it. So yeah, good performance though from Pereira, and impressive. He seems to really be settling now into the UFC. I know kickboxing, when it comes to stand-up MMA, there aren't that many differences, but there is a different realm that is in there. And yeah, beautiful performance from Pereira. And I also thought with Strickland as well, I don't, like I said, why do you not try mixing and grappling? If you've done that, you kind of give Pereira something to think about. It isn't just for the benefit of taking someone down. When you shoot a takedown, it can just put a thought in there, no fighter's mind, and he never did that. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining because I want Pereira to win personally. Nothing against Strickland, but I think it's a more exciting matchup with Adesanya and the history and what have you. But yeah, excellent performance from Pereira. He looked good, and I think is he 3 or 4 on? I don't know which it is, but he's knocked out everybody's fought so far, so he's looking good in the UFC, and I just like to see how he does. I know he's gone the distance before in kickboxing, but I would like to see how he does in a 5-round fight though. And who knows, maybe that will be the Adesanya fight, but yeah, great performance from Pereira, and him and Adesanya, I'm looking forward. He beat him twice in kickboxing, and he's almost followed him into MMA. So yeah, this should be interesting to see how that develops. But yeah, nothing much more to say. A brilliant performance from Pereira.